And we're back with more games of Parker Horton. He's once again playing against Clanall here. Um, yeah, so as a spoiler. I don't know if it's really a spoiler. Anyway, this is immediately recorded after the previous video, but I decided to break it up a little bit since there was enough of a pause this time. 4-3, I think I would open with the Doctor. You would like to get thin, and it seems to be the way to do it here. There's only single gains, but I think getting a doctor is worth it. The other consideration, which I think is really not crazy, would be to open wedding pay debt, um, which I think is better than whatever else you're doing besides the doctor. And I think wedding pay debt is a real thing, but because you're very likely to want a lot of these cantrippy kind of actions, I do think that I like going for that kind of stuff a little bit more, but it's, pretty close. It was a really good hit. I'm not sure whether it was the right play or not, but it worked out well. Um, yeah, you could think about Lighthouse. Lighthouse is going to get you to Peddler better. Peddler's really good. It's generally a little bit worse than Silver, but the difference is pretty small, and it's going to work better with your Heralds and your Peddlers later if you get those. So if you get those, wait, didn't he trash to it? Oh, he named Copper. I somehow thought, my bad, that he'd named a state and it was really good for him, and it was questionable whether he should have. But he named Copper and it was not good for him, and it would have been questionable. Okay, no, this makes much more sense. Um, yeah, Caravan's fine. Caravan, whoever got the Herald, it was too early to get the Herald. Caravan's a better card this early. 6 money here should probably be a gold anyway, though. Wow, it's a big doctor overpay. So he's really committing to thinning, which is actually probably okay. I do think you're going to get some weddings here. 5, trading post? Not sure about that. Parker's quite behind because he hasn't been able to thin much. 5 here, I expect to be like a herald. Scholar, I am not a fan of. Not a fan of. Actually, I think wedding would have been potentially quite reasonable there also. Um, I do like wedding quite a bit on this kind of board. Parker decides to doctor overpay, so he's going to be thin here soon too. Um, okay. And 5 here. Is it going to be another scholar? Is it going to be a herald? Is it going to be a village? The scholar just seems very out of place in this deck to me. Um, it's a herald. Overpaying would have done nothing, so whatever. I think every single one of Parker's bad cards was in his hand there, so it's kind of a rotten time to try your doctor. Um, yeah, I like the wedding there. I like the wedding. And we'll see what Quanall does here. He's kind of incentivized to get actions because he knows that there's going to be 2 heralds in his next hand. And yeah. Okay, cool. So 6 money here. I think I'd probably take another wedding over straight gold, but that's a little bit of a tough call. Yeah. I guess I should think a little bit about how much money was in this hand since he knows that this is the hand he's getting. He should also think about not playing this doctor since there are 0 cards for it that you want to hit. Maybe hitting a trading post is better than not, but like triggering the shuffle considerations are going to be big for Parker on his next turn. Um, Quanall's into the provinces, so yeah, that's a sitch. Um, well, we should have known there were none of those left. Um, Not sure about the third wedding. He's kind of running out of time. Naming anything but trading posts was like, I'm going to trigger this shuffle, but I'm not sure if it was the time to do that. Obviously, he's going to get another wedding here. There's just nothing else to do. But he's now behind the ball on the provinces, and I don't know that Quanel's deck is bad enough that it's going to stall out. Although, from the look of that, it probably is. Oh, does he have? Yeah, he has enough. He can province here. Never mind. Yeah, the caravans. The caravans. Okay, so they're both provincing pretty reliably now, I think. Um, this doctor can name copper. I think there's one more copper left down there. Yeah. And he goes province. He is going to need a stall out from Quanol. I don't know if he's going to get it. But he's likely to get it, right? Cause it's kind of close though. So I think Parker. Well, he should play the caravan here. Guess he doesn't have much choice now. He should just slam a duchy. I think duchy is better than wedding. It's actually not 100% clear. But now he needs Quanol to miss a lot. Yeah, I think I liked the first wedding, but after that, it starts to get a little bit loosey goosey. And I'm not sure about how getting there, how good that kind of plan was. Um, I don't like the farming village at all there. You need to get more money. So now I actually like Parker's chances a decent bit again here. He should slam province for sure. Um, for one thing, I think peddler is better than farming. It's not really going to make much difference. I guess the farming village filter effect is not nothing. Yep, so here is the game. Um, he needs 4 silvers in hand now or after playing this. And he reveals a silver here, which means he doesn't have it, which means Parker wins. Yeah, having exactly 8 money is really hard to keep up because you're not going to draw your whole deck every turn. I don't think Scholar was particularly good here. And so this paid off for Parker. And maybe the extra building was good. I think he could have cut building a tiny bit earlier, but um, all the trading posts and all that kind of stuff also, yeah, I'm not totally sure. It's tricky. Um, but it's the kind of little game with little decisions that I often quite like. Again, I'm going to keep the video on for this next one. Baths is interesting. Um, Probably not going to be super relevant. Enchantress looks, well, at least reasonable here. I think this might be the rare miser board that's the only thinning available. And you can build to be like quite powerful with King's Court, Margrave, Council Room, Artificer. So yeah, I think I would go for Miser Enchantress. I'm not sure I like the Night Watchman. Assume this is going to be discard the estate, keep the rest. He discarded them all. Okay. If you cut the rest, he could have had 3 in this hand, but he is playing to have 1 Night Watchman and get back around to the Miser a ton. He's going to discard all of these, I assume. It's an interesting idea, and I guess it plays really well with Baths, but I'm not so convinced, and the Enchantress can really wreck him. Huh. It hasn't yet, though. Hasn't yet. We'll see what Parker does here. He's a couple of options. He can get Silver, he can get Night Watchman, he can get Enchantress. Um, Given that Quanol has an Enchantress, I'd be pretty worried about my Miser plan working just just doing that the whole time. I guess you get nothing for bass points, but that doesn't seem right. Yeah, the silver's okay. Obviously, you buy nothing here. You skip one of these coppers. Maybe you skip none of them because if you get the Enchantress played, you don't want to trigger the shuffle. So I think I skip none of them because there's a reasonable likely chance that Quanel does play his Enchantress there. Okay, he gets lucky and that didn't happen. So now this could be another silver, Enchantress, and Nightwatch. Okay. So they split the bath points evenly. It's not trash. They each have 3 copper set aside. I don't know what you do here. He sets aside rather than playing the Enchantress. Fair enough. And what does Quenel go for? A silver, sure. Your guys, Parker's obviously going to buy nothing. He should probably just keep this hand. What is 4 money? This is he can buy a King's Court? And you should do that. He should do that here. He's going to want to start getting his King's Courts up and then his draw up, his Artificers, and then a Margrave and some Council Rooms at some point. He definitely should take the money here, though. Yup, King's Court. Yup, good. 5, this should be probably an Artificer, maybe a Royal Carriage. I think Artificer's probably better, but his draws have not worked out as well. Not really sure that that's like actually down to play difference so much, but yeah, just that's good to nix the copper because you would like to king this miser here. Yeah, Parker's just gotten the better of the shuffle luck kind of inordinately to the difference in the play. The difference in their play should not be like this stark on average, but things don't happen on average. It's like a probabilistic end, and this has worked really well. Anyway, you set aside, and take the money, I think. I mean, if he takes the money twice, he can get another King's Court, but I think that it's better to get like an Artificer here. Could be that Margrave is better, but I think it's Artificer because you have terminal considerations. I guess it could also be Royal Carriage, but I don't find that entirely convincing. This should probably be an Enchantress. You really just want to be getting more actions in your deck. You're going to have these King's Courts and to fight your opposing Enchantress. The draw of it's also nice. I think it's better than Silver or another Night Watchman. Obviously, you just pitch these estates. Probably just only pitch the estates. So Quenel's going to get an Artificer there. This is Carriage, and then I think Miser for money and take a King's Court. This is why I don't like the Carriage as much as the Artificer to some extent, although it's not like Artificer was going to be great here, I guess. Do you king this Enchantress? Given what is in his deck, I don't think you do. Really wants to get a Margrave and or an Artificer soon. But given that he has neither of those, I think you just play the Enchantress. Yeah, maybe that's wrong, actually. Like, what is he going to king really here? It's going to be another Enchantress. Guess he can feed a King's Court to a Enchantress this way? I don't know. This delivery is not so um convincing to me, I guess is the word I'm looking for. It's the right thing to feed to the Enchantress there. He needs to take this Miser for money and get a Margrave or an Artificer. Oh, he can set aside and money. Yeah, no, that's better. Um, okay. I guess this is fine slash better. If Quinel can play an Enchantress here, that's gonna mess Parker up. Because he needs all four of these actions. I guess you feed King's Court at that point. Oh, well, this is better. So now, well, no, it's not better, but it's okay. Oh, this works out great now. King, King, Margrave. And the carriage, which isn't really going to matter. King the Miser for money. I don't see why this is the end of the game. I guess it's kind of the end of the game. Um, you have to figure out what you're buying there still. Like, I wouldn't have resigned there. Obviously, Parker's way up, so it's a fine resignation. And I guess that's the end of what we're covering now. So thanks for watching, everyone.